box, properly spaced, and then center the 8 frames in the box this way. Okay, this is our half full queenless package. I have yet to open the other one. Give it a good thunk. Some of these covers are really on here. This is one of them. Can't pull it off, break it off. Get the broken pieces out of the way. Don't worry about the staples. You can just lay the cover back on sideways in between the staples, so don't worry about having to pull those out. Bring the feeder can out. Bottoms up, so it doesn't leak all over the ground. Reach in, pull out the queen cage. She certainly has the attention of several bees here. Once you've got the queen cage in hand, just brush the bees aside, put the cover back on there. I reach into my pocket and get out the little nail, just a little finish nail. Okay. Look inside, make sure your queen's alive. She's alive and well, you can see her. She's at the top right now. Take out the cork at the candy end. And very slowly, very easily, softly. Watching the queen, she's by the candy, now she's away from the candy, okay? There's our nail. You can't really see it. Queen candy is actually covering up quite a bit of the cavity there. That is the tunnel through the queen candy. Reach back in my pocket and get my bigger nail. The reason I don't use the big nail right off the bat is I'm afraid I'll push the whole candy plug into the box. And that would be bad. And the queen, she's moved away. Okay. We have a pretty good sized tunnel through there. When I look through there, I can see stuff moving around in there. So when the bees look through there, they can see the queen plain as day. And that helps them figure it out. Like I say, you see any bees down here? They're all right there, and they're never going to get her out through there. So I think the tunnel is a big help. I definitely recommend doing it. When you're installing on a Modify, set the whole thing up, both boxes, all the frames. We're not using foundation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out 5 of the 8 frames. Set them aside. We're going to set the queen cage right on top of the bottom bars of those 3 frames that are left in the box. And when we pour the bees in, the bees are going to cluster and hang, and the bottom of that cluster is going to cover her up. They'll have her released hopefully by tomorrow morning. This is our half-empty package right here. Pull upward, knock them all down into the corner. Again, I actually broke one of these cages earlier today. Got a little bit too rough with it, but you gotta be rough with them. The bees don't come out easy. And you don't want to leave a bunch of bees in there, because I find more often than not, whatever bees are left in there when you're done shaking it are going to die in there. You'd think they would come out and go in the hive. Most of the time they don't. Most of the time they just sit there until they're dead. Our bees are starting to get pretty deep in this box now. Pull up. stubborn bees here. Come on, girls. Very carefully. Set the frames back in the box, right on top of the bees. Right on top. Don't push down on the frames. Let gravity do the work. What I do is I pick them up just very gently, take the pressure off them. And when I do that, the bees that are stuck under them scurry out. Take about a minute or two. Hopefully won't take all the time we have left on the video. But slowly but surely the bees move out of the way and gravity pulls the frames down where they're sitting, where they belong in the rebates. I notice we can get a close-up on this. These bees, bird ends up in the air and they're fanning their wings. That releases a pheromone. Tells the other bees where they're at and where they should be. It's real handy when you're hiving bees, especially once we get this closed up. If there's bees that aren't in there, it's always nice when the bees come to the front door and start fanning like that, because it helps keep the bees in there. There's always a couple that are doing it, letting everybody know where the new home's at. Our frames are just about settled, and I don't think we've probably killed very many bees at all in this process. I didn't feel any squishing. You know, when you squish a bee, they're kind of crunchy. So I think it went pretty smooth. And it looks like our frames are together for the most part, and they will be if they're not. You know, the tops are together, so if there's bees in between them at the bottom, they'll move out of the way and gravity will do all the work for us. Everything will come together real nice. So, yep, there's a lot of bees in there. Really don't like to use the bee brush, but maybe I can just coax them in to the hive. It's hard to put that feeder on without killing a couple of them. I hate that, but you know, it happens. What I do is go with the frames like a little bulldozer. Push him out of the way. One that's half in, half out. Come on. Get out of there. Come on. All right. There we go. Bees are in. Queen's in. Frames are settled. Feeder's on. Quilt's on. They love this sawdust. I don't know why. Well, it's cedar, I guess. They love the cedar wood, and whenever that cedar sawdust is available to them, they seem to be all over. Reduce the entrance down. I think I'm going to leave about the range today because there's so much activity out here.